Plain drywall screws. Most people use them for home repair. We're going to pack them into a steel canister, ram them down, and weld it shut. Sounds crazy? Welcome to the forge. Today we're making Damascus out of whatever we found lying around. Drilling a vent hole first. Otherwise, this canister will blow up in the forge like a grenade. We toss it in and ramp the temp up to 2200, 2300 degrees F, 1200, 1250 C. That's welding heat. The metal is glowing yellowish white and is ready to fuse into a single monolith. Under the hydraulic press, we're crushing the canister and screws until there's not a single air pocket left inside. We're turning chaos into a dense steel cylinder. Sparks are flying. That means the weld is taking. Drawing out the billet on the power hammer at around 2100 degrees, 1150, while the metal is still plastic and stretches well. Now that the canister has done its job, we're ruthlessly grinding it off with an angle grinder to get to the heart of our billet. Dusting it with borax at 1750 degrees F, 950 degrees C, the flux eats the scale and prevents the metal from burning. Fold it, forge it, and back to 2200 degrees. The more layers we add, the more intricate the final pattern will be. Don't forget to like and subscribe while I send our metallic friend back under the hammer, shaping the blade profile at 2000 degrees, 1100 degrees. The metal is like hot Play-Doh, but it cools fast. Rule of thumb, if it drops below 1500 degrees, 800 degrees, and turns dark red, put it back in the forge. Never forge cold, or you'll get cracks. Trimming the excess. Grinder, belts, and a shower of sparks. We're grinding the bevels and setting the geometry. At this stage, a chunk of metal finally starts to look like a proper knife. Using a rotary tool to cut the fuller. It lightens the blade and adds rigidity. We're cleaning up all the scratch marks before heat treat. It's 3 times harder to do once the steel is quenched. The quench. Heating to 1550 degrees, 850 D. At this temp, a magnet won't stick to the steel anymore, which is a great visual cue. The color is a solid bright orange. Then, straight into the quench oil. The oil flares up and smokes. Classic garage vibes. Right after, into the sand to relieve stress and strip the scale. Cleaning and polishing. After the quench, the steel is significantly harder, and we're burning through abrasives, taking the surface to a mirror finish. The best part is coming up. Ferric chloride, room temperature solution. We etch for a few minutes until the pattern starts to emerge. The acid eats the different steel layers at different rates, and this is where the screws show their true face, that one-of-a-kind Damascus pattern. Brass for the guard, a black spacer, aluminum and birch burl for the handle. Drilling and fitting with a needle file. No rushing here. We don't want any gaps in the handle. like and subscribe from everyone who believed in me and my work. Let's see how many of us are here. And guys, leave a comment. Let's finally talk. Now, before I forget, epoxy. Mixing it up, coating every part generously, and assembling the sandwich on the tang. Clamp it down and let it cure. Just try not to glue yourself to the table. The resin is set. Back to the grinder, stripping the excess and giving the handle an anatomical shape. Final sanding by hand to make sure there are zero splinters. Soaking the handle in oil. The texture catches fire and the color turns deep and rich. Paper test. It slices with a crunch, razor sharp. From a box of ordinary screws to a beautiful, exotic knife with a unique Damascus pattern. If you dug this, hit like and be sure to subscribe. Tell me in the comments what kind of crazy junk I should forge next.